All right, this is exciting. It's not every day we get to talk to someone who has lived the high life, but today's our lucky day. It's one of those days we get to do that. Joining us this morning is Jimmy Ryan, a musician whose accolades just speaks for themselves. You can see right behind him there. One of the best Zoom backgrounds I've seen. So first off, thank you for joining us, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's just get right into this. You know, you are a highly accomplished musician here. How did you get into music, and what was your big break?
Well, I was always into it. From 4 years old, you know, I watched TV, I watched American Bandstand, I watched Elvis Presley. And what I always like to say is I didn't want to listen to the music. I wanted to be the music. I wanted to be those artists. So I've been obsessed since I was a kid. I picked up guitar at 10 years old, practiced like crazy, you know, joined bands. Then when I got into the bands, I made sure that I got rid of the guys that couldn't play and replaced some of the guys with guys that were really good. So you asked me what my big break was. There were about 10 of them. You know, that's in my book, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's called Shapeshifter. Each time a career got to a point where it either failed or was boring, I shapeshifted into a different career. I've been a Broadway actor. I've been a studio musician. I've been a rock star. I've done a million things. But the big break was Carly Simon. If you listen to You're So Vain, there's a solo on it. That was me. And that really launched my career into, you know, the much bigger time than I had been used to in the past.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned your book. I mean, that's going to be such an interesting read given all you've done throughout your career. Can you share with us more about what the book is about and what's all in it and what, you know, the stories that you are excited to tell?
Book is a really fun, easy read. I wanted to make it fun and funny because if you're just reading about, oh, I played this gig and I worked with this person, you're going to put it down in 5 minutes. But I made the stories really compelling, and they're stories that have never been in People magazine. And they're stories about people I worked with like Carly Simon, Cat Stevens, Jim Croce, let's see, Paul McCartney, Elton John. The list goes on. I have to like think about it because it's a long list. And it's stories about my personal relationships with these people. And they're fun and they're funny and they're not much about recording. They're about human interest in what it's like to be a superstar, not me, but them, and to be around them. And one of the most interesting things I thought of when I became a studio musician, a backup musician, was I watched these stars in their lives and they can't do anything. They're like in prison in their houses. I play at Madison Square Garden in New York City. I walk out through the front door and go to a restaurant. They have 15 guards around them and have to have, you know, food delivered. So the book also tells about how I strived to be a star and then realized when I didn't become one of me, when I became a backup artist to the stars, it was a much better position. And I enjoyed it immensely.
That is fascinating and just really, really good insight. So I actually do want to read your book. If we want to read that book, how can we get a copy of that?
It's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Anyway, it's a worldwide release. So anywhere where books are sold, you know, the big major distributors, just go on Amazon. It's behind Autobiography of a Musical Shapeshifter. Show that cover. It'll be easy to see.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That is just fascinating. We just want to thank you for your time, Jimmy.
Very welcome. My pleasure.